Hello students, this is Dr. Petroda, and in this session we are going to learn uh, data conversion. Now in data conversion category we have already done one of the type already called casting. So let us quickly revise on what we have done. In case you have not done the casting with me, you need to go through my video on typecasting so that you will be able to understand this topic very well. Now in casting what we have learned, so we have seen in conversion the casting part of it is the process of converting one predefined primitive data type into another primitive data type. So we have seen here is the list of primitive data type. You have double, float, long, int, short, byte, char and boolean. These are your primitive data types. Any data can be converted into any except the one that has been defined at the bottom. Boolean cannot be converted from boolean to any other primitive data type, the primitive data type, right? So in order to perform this process you have two types of casting. When you have any lower precision data type, so precision is a degree of exactness that we have seen in our casting video, you can go back and check again. So the lowest primitive data type in terms of numeric category, you have a byte, then on above that is short, above that is int, long, float, and double is the highest data type. So when we are converting any primitive data type of a lower precision into the higher precision, we call implicit data casting. Whereas any higher precision data type, if you are trying to convert into lower precision data type, then it is called explicit cast. And here is the example of how we convert, including the char. So we'll go back here. So assuming I have a character C available to me, char, I have int x is equal to ch plus 3. Now ch is your character type. So when a character type is merged with any of the integer data type, computer will automatically take the code number of the ch, which is C. So C's code number technically is a small c, is 99. You can refer to my video on casting again, which will help you understanding how this code number is generated. So computer will automatically convert. This is your implicit cast. So automatically, because it's an integer type, integer is a higher data type than your int is a higher data type than your character type. So ch is a character which will get converted into a ASCII code. So 99 is the code, computer will apply 99 plus 3, so the x is going to store 102. However, if you want to convert that x value back into its character, you need an explicit cast. So we learned ch, which is predefined as character type, is equal to character of x, char of x. X is 102, so character of 102 is f. So if you are printing ch, you will get f as well. So your output for x is 102, output for ch is f. So this is how we learned how to do casting. Now one more step in conversion that we are going to learn is how to convert a string into any primitive type and vice versa, a primitive type back to string, right? So for that, first we need to know what is a wrapper class. I'm sure you all guys have learned somewhere this word wrapper class. Now before we get into wrapper class, we must know that predominantly your Java has been accepting all inputs in Java coming from user has been taken as a string. The olden two methods, data input stream and input stream reader, these both are not in your syllabus, alright, not in your syllabus. But because we used to do this previously, these two would accept the data value as a string first, and then we needed a mechanism which would convert the value of string into its related primitive type. So when I am declaring a value int n is equal to 25, I am taking the value as an integer. But when it's going to come from the user, it's going to come as 25 like this. I need a wrapper class to convert that into its 25. Okay, so wrapper class is a class predefined by Java for each and every primitive type to help us converting any value which is coming from the user string in the form of string to convert into its wrapper class. So here is this. So for converting any data from string to primitive data type or vice versa, we can make use of a wrapper class. What is a wrapper class? So he says wrapper class, they are the classes that wraps up, that converts a primitive data value into an object of a string. So if I have taken a value which is going to come from user as a string, alright, an object of string also can be converted, or a string itself, then I can easily convert them into its primitive type and vice versa. So first thing you need to know is the list of primitives. So here is your bit, all the data type: byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean and char, and these are the wrapper classes. I hope you remember the convention, class name should begin with a capital. So here are all the classes. So while returning any data type, you cannot make use of these, they are classes. This is a data type. So data types are keywords also, they are always in small letters. So byte is byte, of course, with B capital, short is short with S capital. Now this is a special one, int with integer, it's not int. It does not match exactly directly with the primitive keyword, but it's still integer with I. So this is a very good question for an MCQ. Long is long, of course. Float is float. Double is double, of course, all D, F, L, all capital. Boolean with B capital. Another type which is not matching directly with the keyword is char with character. So this is another question that are likely to come for exam, is what is a wrapper class name for a particular data type. Then you need to know these two really well, because this has a greater chance of coming in the exam. So these are the data types, these are the classes that contain certain functions that will help you to convert a string object or a string value into its primitive type. So for that you have two functions basics to learn, and one more, of course, method you will be learning. So first we are going to learn how to convert a primitive to string. Now to perform that, you have a very simple function called dot to string. So dot to string function will help us to convert any given primitive data type into a string. So your syntax is going to be the primitive wrapper class, so related whichever data that you have, their primitive, their wrapper class, dot to string is your function, and similar to the wrapper class, your data value should match. For example, say I have a byte A is equal to 10 being stored. I want to convert this 10 into string. I will say string S is equal to byte, which is my primitive wrapper class for byte with B capital, dot to string is my function, and I apply A. So computer will take the value of A over here as 10. So now S has become 10 stored into a string. Okay, now same thing with short also. Short, if I have B is equal to 20, S capital, of course, because it's a wrapper class, short dot to string of B is 20. So after this line 20 has become string. So it has lost its numeric weightage. Numeric weightage is available only in A and B, but S will contain the string value. Now on them any string functions can be applicable. In case you've done string in your school, alright, then you can apply straight like something like dot length. Dot length, this will also give you 2 and this will also give you 2, because there are only 2 characters present into here. So if it is an int, then it is going to be integer dot to string of x. So 10 will become like this. So if it is a long dot to string of y contains 1 2 3 4 5, it is become 1 2 3 4 5 like this. So as float has f behind, but when it gets converted into float dot to string, obviously computer is going to apply only 2.5 and not f. F is only to make computer understand, alright, that the value is float type. So as double dot to string will make 4.5. False is going to make false like this, and of course a character will become from single quoted character as CHAR type to a double quoted A, which can be extended further in your string. I can add few more characters now because it has become string, but in character you cannot have more than a single character. So this is how a primitive data, all primitive data you can see has a mechanism where dot to string function will convert all of them into string. So let us see very quickly primitive to string. So it's not a program, but we are just having a look at it. So suppose if I have x is equal to 45, if I want, I can add also some more characters. So now when I say integer, because it's an int, so I'll have to apply integer dot to string of x. So x is now 45, so obviously 45 will become like this. So r will contain a string, alright, and x will contain 45. So if I'm going to say, for example, say copy and paste over here, and I say x plus x, then computer should find 45 plus 49, you will have 90. But when it is going to be r has become string. If I say r plus r, then it is be 4545, because numeric values cannot be added when they are part of a string. Okay, so there we are, and of course we are looking at a length of r. Length is number of characters stored in r, which is number of characters 1 and 2. So your answer here will come 2. So integer gets converted into string. I can find the length of that. Your string is now r, which contains 45 as a string. If I add it, 45 plus 45 becomes 4545. But if I add the actual numeric value with its weightage, then it becomes 90. So we will only focus into the first 4 outputs. So if you look at this, alright, the length is 2, 4545 and 90. So this is how computer converts any primitive value into its equivalent string. So as if I have long, I can change this number, say 675. Alright, so obviously this is going to be 675. Now if I am going to say length, obviously it's going to give me a length of 3. And if I say s plus s, 675 plus 675 will become double times 675, 675. So if I compile this, so after the first 3, the next 3 we are going to see. So after the first 3, the next 3 is length is 3 for 675, and 675, 675 is just joined because they are string, they are not numeric. Okay, s is a string, it's not a numeric. Same way, if it is a float, float is going to definitely have f at the end. If you do not write f, it will not work. Okay, for any value without f is considered as double. So now if I want a float to convert, my primitive wrapper class is float with f capital dot to string. So 2.5 has become like this. Now if I say find the length of z, then there are 3 characters, 1, 2 and 3. So now all string functions are applicable on z, which will be on your numeric value as well. So as here with the double, again if I say, let's say 7.5, this will become 7.5. So if I add, now there is an f, you can write f because f becomes a float. Float is a smaller data type, can go into double. So I'm just going to make it 7 points, let's say 5.9. Then this will also be 7.59, and this answer is going to be 4 because there are 4 characters now. Now a character can be easily converted also into a string. So if I have a character a, if I say character because the primitive wrapper class is character full with C capital, dot to string will convert the G value, that's a single coded alphabet, into a double coded alphabet. If I say what is the length here, then the length is 1. So I hope you guys have understood this as well. And the last that you have is a false. So this could be true or false, whichever. The moment I want to convert into a string, I'll say boolean with B capital to string of k. K is false, so false will automatically be a part of string. Now if you say find the length of it, there are 5 characters, I'll get 5. In case you have no character at, so in A, character at 0, its character at 0 position, if you see, is 5, F. So computer will print F as well. So if I run this program, you can see the last one here, character at F, the length was 5, of course, Alright, this is a length of character A, which is 1 over here. It's not finding a length of this because you cannot apply on a char type data length. So it's not G dot length, it's H dot length, which is a string. So I hope you guys have understood how to convert any primitive into a string. Now we move on to the next function that we have is to convert the reverse, that is any string to primitive. So for converting any string to its logically possible primitive data type, alright, the best logically possible primitive data type is a function dot value of. So again we still need a wrapper class. So wrapper class has this function called dot value of a string. There is a always compulsory string over here. This string will be returned with its value in its numeric form to its data type. So suppose if I have string has been accepted when the user is entered a value as a string or stored as a string, and I want to convert it into its equivalent primitive type, I can make use of the value of. So suppose if I want 10 to be converted into byte, then of course my storing data type will be byte, but I'll say byte dot value of x. X is 10 like this. This is going to make n is equal to 10 as numeric. So now if I say n plus n, it will give me 20, 10 plus 10. Same way, if I have a y is equal to 25 as a string, I can also apply short dot value of y. Y is 25 like this, will get converted into n is equal to 25 as a numeric. Similarly with the int, you will have integer dot value of z. So your n will become now 1, 2, 3, 4 numeric value. A is equal to 114. If I let's say I want to convert into a long, I'll say long dot value of A. A is 114, so n will take value as 114. 2.5 I can convert easily into float. I don't need f over here because it's a string, but while storing, computer will take n as 2.5. Float dot value of b. B is your 2.5. String 2.5. So string 45.55 will get easily converted. Double dot value of 45.55 will get converted. N becomes 45.55 numeric value. And when it comes to string, I can convert a value, alright, into a very easily boolean dot value of d. D is a true value, so n value will store true. So let us understand this with the another function also before we get into the practical. So there is another procedure, the method that has been given in Java is called parsing. Parsing is nothing but converting only. Parsing. So it will also do the same thing as dot value of will do, but it is going to do with its own method. So every class has its own method of parsing. So again, what is this parsing? So you will have whatever the wrapper class, okay, related wrapper class of the data that you have, dot parse primitive wrapper method. So wrapper type. So all the primitive type has its own method. So for byte is parse byte, short is parse short, integer is parse int, long is parse long, float is parse float, double is parse double, and boolean is parse boolean. So this is a related primitive method. Now if you recollect your identifier, because it's a method, first word is in a small letter, second and subsequent word will begin with a capital in all cases. So this is a convention being followed. So if it is a number x as 10 and I want to convert it into byte type, I'll say byte dot, that's my wrapper class, dot, okay, there is a dot over here, parse byte of x. So again n will be stored as 10 like this, numeric. So a short dot parse short will convert this 25 into numeric 25. Integer dot parse int, it's not parse integer, it's parse int, is going to convert n into 1234. So as this is going to convert n as 114, this is going to convert n as 2.5, n as 45.55. So all the related value will get converted into its primitive type. So Boolean will of course be true. And then I can apply any numeric calculation on n, like addition, multiplication, subtraction, division, or even a modulus. It will get easily applied on them, but they cannot be applied on a string. So suppose if I have to see a practical out of it, then let us understand over here. We'll focus with first with integer. So here is the integer that I have. Okay, this is a toString. Sorry, we are going to go here. So let's assume I have a string s1 is equal to 12 and s2 is equal to 1.0. I'm just writing here. Okay, s2 is not here, so I will focus on s1. So now both the ways I can do. One, I am converting int x is equal to integer dot parse int. Parse int is going to convert the value s1, which is string 12, into an integer 12. Similarly, I have another same way thing with another method, integer dot value of s1. s1 is still 12, so this is going to convert string 12 into integer 12. So I have got integer 12 here, integer 12 here in x and y, but my s1 is still string. So if I say s1 plus s1, then it is 1 2 plus 1 2 will become 1 2 1 2. But if I say x plus y, then x and y being integer, it is going to give me 12 plus 12, 24. So my first two answer 1 2 1 2 and 24. So if you have a look at this, is 1 2 1 2 and 24. Then the same thing can be applied onto a float. So if I have float or a double, so I have taken one float, one double. So if I directly take a value like this, float dot value of 2.5, then this is going to convert it into its equivalent 2.5 numeric, whereas this is going to convert into its equivalent 5.0 numeric. Okay, so if I say d plus d, which is d is 2.5, then 5 plus 5, 2.5 plus 2.5 is going to become 5.0, whereas d plus e, d and e, so 2.5 plus 5.0 will become 7.5. So let's see, first two answers are there. This is going to be the next two answers, 5.0 and 7.5. I hope you can see this. Then very important and a tricky one in case the question comes in the exam. If I have a string true in any combination of uppercase or a lowercase, not TRUE, the uppercase and a lowercase. So it can be all capital, it can be first capital remaining small, all small, first capital, last capital, all small, any combination of uppercase or lowercase, but the spelling should remain TRUE only, then it will automatically convert it into true, but it is going to return me small true. Remember, because primitive reserved character, reserved you can say value of Boolean is true and false, which are small, they are reserved as small characters. So in both cases my answer will be true. So if I am going to print them, so there is no print statement, so I am going to pick up a print statement first, and I am going to apply here as n, and I am going to apply here as again m. So this both will give me true at the end. You can see this true, which is a small character, though my storing variable is all capital. Same logic will go with false as well. So if I say false in any combination, obviously this is going to be false in a small character. So this is what is important for you to remember, that no matter what combination of alphabets in terms of its uppercase and lowercase, the return value will be what Boolean primitive data type stores. Now what if I have something like India over here? Then it is not going to give me any error message, because logically there is a string over here, there is a string required, which is string h. Then what computer will give? So anything other than a combination of two UE in capital small format, true. Anything other than true will always gives you return value as false, small false. So even if I write anything other than true, whether India, Mumbai or even false, my return value will always be false. So in order to get true, it has to be a correct spelling of TRUE. If I make a wrong spelling also, say TERU, okay, then my answer is not going to be true, my answer is going to be false. So not the combination of characters, but it should be a combination of uppercase, lowercase. Okay, it should be a combination of uppercase, lowercase, or false, or any other string will return you always false. And the last and very important thing that you need to know is, you cannot convert a string into a character type. Like in primitive, you have boolean cannot be converted into any other primitive data type. A string, let's say I love Mumbai is a string, I cannot apply. This is an illogical, it's a wrong thing. It will give you error message the moment I'll put my pointer elsewhere. I cannot apply character dot value of or character dot parse character, something like that. There's no function like that. Alright, so if I click here, immediately it tells me incompatible data type, string cannot be converted to char. Okay, so this is wrong. In case you want a character from a string, you have a special function called dot caret, which you will be learning in string to remove a character from a given string. So this is not allowed. Only primitive data type that cannot, alright, take a string into it is a character type. Alright, so a string cannot be converted into character. There is a function which will help you to remove a character. Same, if you recollect, in a primitive, boolean cannot be converted to any other primitive and vice versa. So as over here as well. So I hope you guys have got this understanding of how string to primitive and primitive to string will work. So here is the same one, same particular string is converted both ways, byte dot parse byte as well as byte dot value of, and in ICSE both of them have come in past. So it is likely to come even in this exam as well. You should know as a programmer how to convert primitive to primitive and how to convert string to primitive and vice versa. So I hope you guys have understood this. In case you have any question, you can always ask me in my regular sessions or in my doubt solving sessions. Thank you very much. God bless.